That one doesn't look, and that's good. That's good news for the folks there in parts of Lawrence County. So if you're in Athens right now, it doesn't look as ominous on radar, so that's certainly good news. Still, the reflectivity, the velocity doesn't look bad. The reflectivity is still questionable, so we'll keep an eye on this storm. Just stay in your safe place if you're in Athens, Elkmont, Capshaw, Cortland, Rogersville. All you folks need to stay in your safe place. This is going to slide just north of Decatur and push off to the north and east. So unfortunately, Capshaw, Meridianville, Hazel Green, looks like you're going to see another round here in just a few minutes. Again, we're watching these storms. We're also taking in storm reports right now, and we'll have a list of those here for you in just a few minutes. And a lot of folks reporting in what they're seeing, what's happening out there as well. Go ahead, Isaac.
Spencer, we've got several different reports to pass along. Number one, the Weather Service in Huntsville extremely concerned about this thunderstorm just to the north of Hazel Green. They're saying that winds could exceed 100 miles per hour with that storm, and while they don't have a confirmed tornado, they're suggesting that it's a very high probability. And as Spencer was talking about earlier, you can see, let me draw it on here, you have this little debris ball looking signature here just to the north of Hazel Green. And while the velocity may not look exactly perfect, when we see reflectivity looking like that, we have to be very concerned about the possibility of a potentially large tornado that's going to be crossing out of Madison County into Lincoln County, Tennessee. And I also wanted to pass along that we have they're tracking a confirmed tornado now over Town Creek. Now, this is back in Lawrence County, Alabama, so that we have a confirmed tornado now from the Huntsville Weather Service office from there as well. So I'll take you back to that, let you talk about that for a moment as well. But again, we're looking at potentially two different tornadoes that are confirmed here as of the last couple of minutes.
And we have, looks like we have video out of Athens right now, and we're looking at, let's see if we can show it to you. There you go. Video out of Athens, and this is from Ashley Coughlin, and you can see what looks to be a possible tornado there. It's hard to see with the, there we go, and yeah, you can see at the least there's probably a wall cloud, too hard to see with the tree line and with what we're seeing out there, but certainly some ominous clouds. A lot of these tornadoes are rain wraps, so you can't really see them very well, but either way, this is kind of the scene that you're going to see out there tonight. The clouds, as these storms approach, will look pretty ominous. And I want to pass along, too, that Limestone EMA is asking all traffic to stay away from 72 west of Athens as crews work response. So Limestone EMA asking all folks to stay away from Highway 72 west of Athens as crews try to work the scene there. Apparently there is quite a bit of damage, and a lot of folks trying to get that taken care of and get that under control. We have also have reports of power outages in Hazel Green right now. So the power probably going to go out in some of these areas, if not due to lightning, due to wind. So certainly we're dealing with that issue as well. Again, I've been looking on social media, and a lot of reports coming in. North Athens looks like it's been hit pretty hard. We have crews on the way and on the scene right now, and we will have more on that. But we're following right now. We're still staying with you because we have potential tornadoes on the ground. So let's go over these one more time. We've got the potential tornado, if not at least wind up to 100 miles per hour, moving into parts of southern Lincoln County. BTI has jumped up to 7.1 on that one. So that's significant. That means there is likely a tornado on the ground with this as it moves to the north and east. Let's take a look at the velocity one more time. And again, and there, yeah, there is a potential that...
Thing seems like it's spinning.
Yeah, the whole, I mean, that's just a large mass of... There it is.
Right there. See how it's kind of strengthening over the last several scans when it's spinning the whole thing.
Yeah. So let's label a couple of these roads, and this is south of Fayetteville. So here's Fayetteville. Here's Newmarket. Newmarket, this is going to pass just to your north and west. If you're on the northwest side of Newmarket, Winchester Road runs along into Newmarket there. And then what we're looking at, and again, some of these streets are a little bit small, but what we're looking at is...
Lincoln Road right here running East to west.
Yeah, there's Lincoln Road. And
then
again,
US Highway 231 right
yeah,
here.
obviously here's 231. So Lincoln Road that runs there just parallel to the state line, this is going to pass right over Lincoln Road. If you're on Lincoln Road, hopefully, I hope you're taking your tornado precautions. This is a mean-looking storm. Even if it doesn't have a tornado, it certainly will have damaging winds over 100 miles per hour likely, especially on the front end of this. We're talking 100 to 115 mile per hour winds likely with this storm. Let's take a look at the other storms. We haven't forgotten about you folks there in portions of Lawrence County, and we've had reports of a possible tornado there as well. So we're watching this area. Here's Cortland. And again, we're looking at, let's go ahead and look at the velocity on this one. The velocity doesn't look as bad, but still there is, just because it doesn't show up on radar, there still could possibly be a tornado. We're further away from the radar here, so it's a little harder to see at the lower levels. Again, we're continuing to watch this one push toward Ripley, and unfortunately for the folks that are trying to clean up there along Highway 72 in Athens, this could be a problem because this storm, you're going to have to take shelter again if you're in those areas that have been damaged. So if you're in a damaged area of Athens, I need you to go in and find a shelter, find a safe place if you can, and we'll continue to track this storm. We're also tracking the storm coming out of Phil Campbell right now as well. So it looks like 3 different areas, possibly 4, that are producing damage, heavy rain, intense lightning, and gusty wind. And so this is turning into a fairly serious situation tonight here in North Alabama with 3 different supercell thunderstorms. You know, I was kind of hoping that these would come together as a line because then that supercell effect that they have would not increase the tornado threat. But so far, these are still individual, large supercell tornadoes continuing to track across Alabama tonight. And we're staying with you as these storms continue to move across the same areas, unfortunately. And I know you folks there in portions of northern Madison, northern Limestone, northern Lawrence, portions of Franklin County, you've been hit with storms one round after the other. And these will continue to track north and east. The good news is, and let's zoom out a little bit, see if there's anything behind this storm in Russellville, because it looks like most of this will actually head south of us, or at least toward Coleman. So right now, a little cell at Tupelo, but that's it. So we're tracking these 3 cells, these 3 large, possibly tornadic storms that continue to now move into southern Tennessee. You folks in southern Tennessee, so if you're in portions of Franklin County, Tennessee, up toward Moore County, that's what you folks need to be taking cover immediately. Here's some of the areas. Let's give you a list. We're tracking these storms right now. Here's the list. Vantown, Quarter Crossroads, Crystal Springs, Flintville, Gum Springs, Sycamore Swamp, Neal, and Rich Crossing. Those are the areas that we're watching right now. The potential Flintville, this is going to be right on top of you. I hope that you're in your safe place right now. Get in your safe place. If you're not, go to your storm shelter, go to the center of your hallway or to your bathroom, and just stay there until the storm passes. There are more storms behind this, so I can't give you the all clear until these storms pass. Fayetteville, this one's just going to your south. If you're in the city of Fayetteville on the north side, you'll miss this storm. Southeast side of Fayetteville, very close to you. Lots of lightning, lots of intense wind. What are you guys seeing out there?
We did receive one report here in Weather Service chat here. It was from local media confirming three fatalities in Limestone County, unfortunately. So it sounds like I believe 2 of those were at a mobile home park, the Lehigh Mobile Home Park, and then 1 dead on Sledge Road. So that was from the storm that came through earlier. That storm is now the one that's up in Hazel Green, and again, we're not 100% sure whether there's a tornado on the ground with that right now. But what we do know is that it looks very impressive, and the Weather Service has actually just issued another tornado warning on that. They're going to continue the tornado warning on that. Yeah, that's confirmed. All the way into portions of southeastern Lincoln County and even into Franklin County, I believe this is going to go. Might as well just leave the tracks up on here. Let me get this to the right spot here. But we may as well leave the tracks up here so you can see the town names and when you're going to be dealing with these storms. This is going to include Huntland, Tennessee. So Huntland, Flintville, Elora. This is going to pass southeast of Fayetteville, so you guys will be fine here. But again, southeastern Lincoln County and into southwestern Franklin County up in Tennessee. This is moving out of Madison County and moving toward the north and east, about 40 to 50 miles an hour or so. Very intense storm. Let's also back up here and just kind of, wow, that's a very intense looking reflectivity signature there. But again, I'm not seeing debris on the radar signature, and that's pretty close to the radar. You'd think if there's a tornado on the ground that you would see debris there. It's not always the case, but we need to take that one seriously as if there is a tornado on the ground, because there is a chance that there is. Let me get rid of this storm track here just so we can kind of take a big look at things. Again, we're looking into Limestone County here. Between Elkmont and Athens, there's one tornado warning. Again, this is the one that's going to take that track that was kind of similar. Again, this is south of Elkmont. Here's your rotation right here. Let me grab the telestrator here. Here's your rotation. This is going to be moving directly toward the community of Thatch. Elkmont, we need you in your tornado shelter right now. Thatch, we also need you in your tornado shelter right now. Let me see this. 603, confirmed tornado near Hazel Green. Okay, so that was a confirmed tornado near Hazel Green. Okay. So again, if you live in southeastern Lincoln County up in Tennessee or southwestern Franklin County in Tennessee, that's a confirmed tornado. And again, not really too surprising based on the radar signature, but you need to be in your safe place in any of those spots. We've got a large power outage in the Hazel Green area. That was reported close to 10 minutes ago as that went through town. And again, we've got this other tornado warning here that's now east of Shanghai, so you guys are fine for now. Kind of moving toward the very, very north side of Athens. And again, luckily, it looks like the exact same spot that got hit before is not going to get hit again. Let me just kind of circle the area where it appeared based on radar took the worst of the last storm that went through. That's where it looks like the worst of the storm went through, that last one. Here's where the rotation is right now, and it's moving off toward the north and east. So again, kind of a close call there, but good to see that's not going over the same exact area. This is moving northeast as well at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. And we'll get a little bit of a wider view here. We'll shoot it back over to Spencer for a look at that.
And I want to mention a couple of things here. First of all, we're simulcasting on 97.7 The Zone and Light 96.9. So if you are here in Huntsville and Madison, Limestone, Morgan counties, if you can pick up Light 96.9, be sure and listen there. A lot of folks, I'm getting word that Channel 31 is out in some of the cable systems, or maybe on the satellite, especially because of the rainfall, the heavy rain. So you can also let friends or family know. You can listen to us on Light 96.9. We're simulcasting there, and also on 97.7 The Zone. Those are both FM stations, and we'll be with you there. Also, if you have pictures of damage, and you want to send those to us or let us know what's going on, you can send those to weather@WAAY-TV.com. Be sure and send those to us, and we'll pass those along to the proper folks here, because we want to make sure that we know what's happening with these storms as they pass. We know that there's damage out there. Again, don't do anything if it's not safe. Don't take any pictures if it's not safe. But if you do happen to take some and you want to send those to us, be sure and you can do it that way. You can also share them on my Facebook and Twitter page, and I'll pass those along as well. Hey, here's a look. This is what we're looking at. This storm still wrapping up in parts of Lincoln County. Flintville under the gun right now. Possible tornado. Again, Elora, Tennessee. This is Vantown Road. It's continuing to push just north and west of Huntland, Tennessee. We have an individual who actually keeps weather statistics up there in Huntland. So a lot of folks up there need to be sure and take their tornado precautions right now. This is U.S. Highway 64. 64 actually goes up into Fayetteville and goes across southern Tennessee back toward Pulaski and Lawrenceburg. But again, here's what we're looking at. 4 minutes, Elora. Really, it's right on top of you right now, Elora, Tennessee. And again, you can see some of the other areas, communities that will be impacted. Branchville, Huntland, Brown Mill, Beans Creek, Falls Mill, Old Salem, down toward Maxwell, Taylortown. All those areas will be impacted by this storm that has a potential tornado on the ground. You folks there in Lincoln County, please take your tornado precautions right now. Get to your safe place, your storm shelter, your basement, interior hallway, anywhere you can get to get away from the windows, get into the center of your home, and of course, try not to go out and drive in these storms. It's not safe to be in a vehicle at all. So we're watching this storm. Can we take a look at the velocity on this one more time? And I'll show you what's going on there with the, just very intense rotation with this storm. And there it goes as it pushes off. It's approaching U.S. Highway 64, so it will cross U.S. Highway 64 here very shortly. Let's take a broader look at some of the other storms across the area. And again, we're still tracking storms moving through now, again, Limestone County, approaching I-65 once again. And this storm will continue to move back into northwestern, same areas, Ardmore being impacted, south of Pulaski. I mean, these storms are taking the exact same path.
They dropped a bunch of the tornado warnings
right.
So
good.
You can see we've only got that one in Hazel Green right now. They also dropped the one up in Franklin County. The closest tornado warnings, other than the one north of Hazel Green up in Lincoln County, Tennessee, the closest ones are down pretty close to Columbus down in Mississippi. So this actually helped us out quite a bit because now we can really just kind of focus on that one storm. And I am going to briefly just kind of check the velocities on this. And yeah, you know, they don't look too bad. So definitely very good to see, considering that's an area that already had to deal with some pretty nasty stuff not too long ago.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this storm as it and it still looks pretty impressive on radar as it heads toward Huntland, Elora, Flintville, eventually up toward Belvedere, and this is moving south and east. Again, it's missing Fayetteville, Newmarket, just on the edge of this. You probably saw some pretty intense wind out of this, or seeing it right now there in Newmarket. Likely some large hail north of Flintville. Whole lot of lightning with this, 343 strikes just with this one little cluster of storms as it pushes toward Belvedere and Huntland. So again, we're looking at a lot of intense thunderstorms and very heavy rain, flooding, a huge issue with these because they're going over and over the same areas. So again, we're tracking this storm, tornado warning, and it continues till until, what, does this continue until 6:45?
So, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I believe 6:45.
Yeah. So you can see the blue boxes indicate the flood warnings. We have flood warnings in effect for all the areas that have been impacted by these storms, including Florence, Russellville, Decatur, Athens, northwest side of Madison County, up into parts of Lincoln County as well. Look at the swath of heavy rain with this. We're talking in the order of 3 to 5 inches in some areas. So flooding, a big problem in areas of Franklin, southern Colbert, northern Lawrence, southeastern portions of Lauderdale County as well. So continuing to, okay, we have multiple injuries reported in the community of Clements. So we're looking at, and I've heard several reports here, and that's Ari's circling the area that we might have injuries. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and take a look. We're watching the storm for you folks there in Lincoln County. Tornado warning continues until 6:45. But again, we're looking at the potential for a possible tornado there, and we'll keep an eye on this storm. If you're in Huntland, Elora, Flintville, Belvedere, you need to be taking tornado precautions right now. It's right on top of you. It will move on through, and we'll give you the all clear here in just a few minutes. We do have a photo that came in, and this was from, there we go, Hackleburg. And there's, okay, this is behind the Wrangler plant in Hackleburg. Look at that. That is that's an impressive, what we call a, this is not a wall cloud, this is a roll cloud or a shelf cloud. This is the shelf cloud that continues to push in with these storms. These storms will produce incredible looking shelf clouds and the potential for a tornado, and that could be anywhere in here. Of course, you can't see with the tree line. This may be it right here. But again, very hard to tell. Either way, this is in Hackleburg. We also have pictures of hail, lots of hail reported with these storms, golf ball to baseball size hail, and I've seen many of those reports in Ardmore. You can see, look at that. That is an impressive looking supercell thunderstorm from Hackleburg, and you can see the structure of that storm. Rogersville, that looks like a possible tornado. That is likely a tornado. That one of the many that we've warned for this evening in Rogersville. And you can see more storm cloud pictures there. Just some impressive photos that folks have sent in to us here at WAAY-31. There's the damage in Bay Hill. We have a lot of trees and limbs that came down, some awnings, and you can see more trees in the distance there. So certainly some damaging winds. This looks like it could be tornado. We won't know until they do the survey. Could be tornado damage. It could be straight line wind damage of upwards of 100 miles per hour or more. So we'll have to wait till the National Weather Service looks at some of this. So here's a look at the radar. I'll toss it back to Ari real quick. You can go over that one more time. And
this is...
Before I'm going to pass this along real quick, fast, Ari, before you do that, the Limestone County Emergency Management Agency, through the National Weather Service in Huntsville, is asking all non-essential personnel to stay off the roads in the entire county of Limestone County as search and rescue continues to unfold across that area. But again, we are still tracking some strong thunderstorms that could go back into rotation. So again, Limestone County is just a dangerous place right now because we're looking at strong storms, but also as the search and rescue continues, they want all non-essential personnel to stay off the roads. And also one more report, we do have the storm spotter in Haleyville. That's in Winston County. That's on that storm coming into Franklin County that has not have a tornado warning on it right now, but again, a funnel cloud is being reported, so we could see that tornado warning return for Franklin County. We'll be watching that closely, but again, all non-essential personnel being asked to stay off the roads in Limestone County. Ari?
Yeah, basically what we have right now is this is the same storm. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, this was the same storm that actually went through Limestone County earlier, isn't it? And then it came up through Hazel Green, created some damage there, and also had a power outage there. And now, again, this is moving up into Lincoln County, Tennessee right now. So, again, let me just give you the rundown on this storm. This is right at Flintville right now. So you got to be in your tornado shelter if you live in Flintville right now. Elora also. This is Highway 64 up here. Here's the new scan. Whoops, accidentally clicked the wrong button there. But here's the new scan. This is Highway 64, so again, here's your rotation, and it's basically right on top of Highway 64 between Flintville and Huntland right now. It does appear at this point that this may end up missing Huntland just a little bit toward the west-northwest, but just to be safe, we still want you in your tornado shelter if you live in Huntland. Let me give you a couple of towns here. I'm going to put a storm track on here just for some of the smaller communities who are watching us. Again, this is in Lincoln County, Tennessee, and it also includes the western part of Franklin County, Tennessee. And this is actually our only tornado warning on the board right now. So for the first time in, well, it seems like a couple of hours, we can actually just kind of focus on one storm here. Let me add a storm track. We're going to go toward the north and east around 45 miles an hour or so. And we're going to take a little bit more of a track like this. Okay, so I'm going to goof with the settings here. We're going to get a width of about 4 miles. We'll get a length of about 30. And we'll go with the places here, which will show about 1. Again, this is a pretty strong rotation. We actually cannot see any debris on the radar, which is kind of interesting because it's so close to the radar, and generally you would be able to see that. But, you know, again, we've had confirmation of a tornado already with this system, so you know, radar is something we use to try to give us a good idea of what's going on. If we have confirmation of a tornado on the ground, who cares about radar? That's basically how it works. So again, right now, we're not 100% sure because we haven't had confirmation recently with this storm. Last one was probably about 15-20 minutes ago, I would say. But again, it has a history of producing tornadoes. This is the one that created some really nasty damage back in Athens. It's been kind of a cycling storm, and it looks very impressive here. Look at that. Look at that all wrapped up like that. Let me show you the laps on this storm. Very impressive supercell. You can almost just see the rotation in that there without even looking at the velocities. You can see how the rotation of the storm is just pulling some of the bigger pieces of well, not necessarily debris, but some of the, you know, the bigger raindrops and maybe the pieces of hail and things like that, kind of wrapping it around the center of the storm there. So again, just a very textbook supercell. You're likely getting some very large hail north of Highway 64 up in northeastern Lincoln County as well. So again, this is something that we've got to take seriously, even though we do not necessarily know if we have a tornado on the ground right now or not. Anywhere in Lincoln County, western Franklin County, you need to take your tornado shelters right now. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this the storm track on, so we're going to send it over to you real quick, Isaac. Do you have anything new over here?
No, I'm not seeing any. It says tornado almost on the ground at Dorning Road at Old R.R. Bed Road. That's for County Fire. I believe that that's for Madison County earlier, I believe. But again, the main threat right now we're looking at is this Tennessee storm here, and it's approaching the community of Huntland, and it might pass a little bit to the north, but it's too close to call. Since you can tell that right there, the Huntland is pretty much right in the path there, especially on the north side of the storm. That BTI is, while not overly impressive as 6, is a pretty significant number. We're looking at 100 miles per hour there of shear. So I'll let you talk about some of the cities there in the path. Yeah, we're still watching these storms in Lincoln County, Tennessee, and as Ari and Isaac mentioned, pretty intense, over 100 mile per hour shear. We're talking 6.0 on the BTI scale. If you haven't been with us this afternoon, that's the Barron Tornado Index. It's an index between 1 or 0 and 10, and we're talking a pretty significant threat there, and the potential with, you can see this storm just rolling, barreling through portions of Lincoln County back toward Huntland, Tennessee. And so we'll have to check in with our weather watcher there in Huntland and see what Mark Mears there in Huntland will probably give us some good information here in the next little bit on the wind and how strong it is as they push through. We do have some photos to show you. This is from Athens, and it looks like Lita Gore sent this, and you can see a pic there of pretty ominous clouds. Might even be some mammatus clouds there in the top part of the screen. I can't tell, but we're looking at some ominous clouds in Athens. And also this shot from Elkmont. This is from Lance Taylor. So Lance Taylor sent this one in. Possible wall cloud with a tornado in it. Again, the tree line in the way, you can't really see if there's an actual tornado there or not, but in a lot of these storms, they will be rain wrapped, and likely there probably was one in some of those areas. And I don't know if we have any, is there any more pictures? Okay, those are our newest photos right now. And so what we're looking at is this storm. We're zoomed in on Lincoln County. It's 6:30 now. We've been in severe weather coverage now for at least a few hours and continue to go into severe weather coverage with this tornado warning across portions of Lincoln County. Here's a lot of the areas. Take a look at some of those communities being impacted right now. We're talking about Winchester Springs, looks like Broadview, and then over toward Winchester. This is heading into the city of Winchester. So if you're in Winchester, take your tornado precautions right now. I've been going over the best way to stay safe. And of course, you've probably heard it 1,000 times here in the Tennessee Valley with all the severe weather that we've had over the years. If you're from here, if you're not from here, again, the best place to go is to a interior room, hallway, or bathroom, away from windows, into maybe a tub or an enclosed part of that bathroom, maybe an interior closet. You could go down to a basement. If you have a basement or a storm shelter, obviously that's the best place to go. You want to get off the highest level onto the lowest level and just wait the storm out there. And of course, this storm has a history of producing some damaging wind. There's another storm to follow, and unfortunately, this one is going to go over the same area. So even if it's not tornadic per se, it still is going to carry some damaging wind, maybe some small hail, intense lightning, and very
heavy rainfall. More information coming in right now into the WAAY-31 Storm Center.
That's right, Spencer. You know, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for Madison County that goes until 7 o'clock. Some damaging winds, large hail possible there as that storm moves in. I do want to pass along a report. Carriager Road and Highway 231, there's a church there, and the roof has been reported taken off. And this is in association with that storm that has lifted into Tennessee. This happened a little while ago as that storm passed just to the north of Hazel Green there. So again, storms meaning business as it moves into Tennessee. But again, we'll have to watch this next storm. Even though it's not tornado warned, damaging winds could cause the same amount of damage as a weak tornado. And again, that kind of line segment of storms going to be affecting the Harvest and the Tony community here imminently, and then traversing into northern Madison County, maybe affecting Hazel Green once again, maybe Meridianville and New Market as well. But again, that tornado warning still up there in Tennessee looking very impressive, kind of just wrapped itself all up. And again, reportedly of about 30 minutes ago, that church on Carriager Road and Highway 231 in northern Madison County did have the roof reported taken off. Spencer.
All right, and let's... Okay, and that's that live shot that we're looking at right now. That's actually from the Huntsville Airport. And I want to mention, as we're looking at that shot, spotter reports no confirmation on possible funnel tornado at Old Railroad Bed Road. So we're continuing to watch that, and we'll keep an eye on these storms in Madison County. So we're keeping an eye on the storms in western and northwestern Madison County. There's the live look at the radar. Still very intense, strong to severe thunderstorms moving through now, and we're continuing to watch this area here of Lincoln County, and still looking at the potential for rotation from really right along U.S. Highway 64 heading into Belvedere, now moving into the north side of Huntland and right around Flintville back toward Fayetteville. Again, this is all off to your east. So again, this is the area that we'll continue to watch. Elora, Huntland, Flintville, Belvedere, again, all still under the gun. We've been talking about the same area for quite a while now. The rotation is actually on the northern side, but what we're looking at here is potential for damaging wind at the least and the possibility of a tornado, and there could be, there might be a little something there.
It looks like maybe a little something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, tough to look at to see if there's actually any debris there. But either way, there's some damaging wind and some intense lightning with this storm. It's actually moved out of Madison County, but now we're having to watch the storms behind this one in portions of Madison County and beyond. So we're looking at now southern sections, southwestern sections, Lincoln. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning in the yellow box for Madison County. It's moving through Harvest, Capshaw. This is moving through the northwest side of Huntsville out of Athens. Probably some damaging wind here along this line from Tony to Harvest. Unfortunately, you don't need it. Same areas have been impacted. Meridianville, Hazel Green. This will clip the northern side of Huntsville and move over toward the New Market area. But again, this just looks more like a damaging wind threat. And Ari's putting on, this looks like 60-mile-per-hour winds at only about 2,400 feet. So we're talking a couple thousand feet up, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it doesn't take much for those winds to push down to the surface. So we'll keep an eye on this storm. But again, expect damaging winds, Hazel Green, New Market, Meridianville, up to 50 or 60 miles per hour here in the next little bit. We'll follow these storms and track them back to the west, still tracking more showers and thunderstorms back toward Elkmont, back into portions of northwest Alabama. No warnings right now, a lot of flash flood warnings, but no warnings right now with any of these storms in northwest Alabama. Looks like more storms are actually building now back to the west of this. So this is going to be a long evening. These storms, while they're moving individually at about 40 miles per hour, the entire line is actually not moving very fast at all. So they're going to go over the same areas. So we're going to have a significant flood threat out there tonight. So if you're out, I would encourage you not to go out and drive in these areas that have been rain soaked. Now, we've been talking about really areas west of I-65 and north of Huntsville pretty much the entire time. You folks in northeastern Alabama, Jackson, DeKalb, Marshall, down toward even Coleman, haven't seen a thing yet. So these storms will eventually push into your area, but for now, most of them, we're seeing some of them clip now, northern sections of Jackson County. We'll have to watch this storm. This is looking a little suspicious, but certainly some damaging wind with that particular cell. It looks like we're probably coming out with another warning here. It may be a severe thunderstorm warning, I'm not sure.
It's a continuation of the tornado warning for Franklin and Lincoln counties for another 15 minutes until 6:45. They're still tracking a confirmed tornado. This tornado is near Huntland or 11 miles south of Lynchburg, moving northeast at 40. And they just want to remind that this does have a history of producing a tornado with significant damage. But again, this is the only tornado warning at this moment in our coverage area. But again, apparently the tornado is still down, Spencer. So again, that warning is going to continue for at least the next 15 minutes for southwestern Franklin County as well as southeastern Lincoln County in Tennessee.
Okay, and I'm seeing a report on NWS chat, gas station at Nick Davis and Old Railroad Bed Road, leveled per 2 response agencies, possible injuries. So Leeton PD reports tornado on the ground, Highway 20 east of Leeton, between Highway 20 and Old Highway 20. So we're getting reports of injuries and also still a report of a possible tornado from the emergency, the EMA folks there in Colbert County. So we continue to track these storms, and again, even though there's not tornado warnings, and we're looking at these right now.
Yeah, Spencer, we just got in a piece of information from Colbert EMA. Leeton Police Department reports a tornado on the ground on Highway 20. That's east of Leeton, between Highway 20 and Old Highway 20. So again, this is back out and into northwest Alabama with some of these storms coming in. Now, we do not have a tornado warning. Okay, so, you know, it may be one of these things where we're kind of wondering how legit is the report, or, you know, something like that. Weather Service, we'll see what they do with that. But I can tell you, based on these velocities, doesn't look too bad right now. Leeton, again, that's a town we've been talking about a couple of times already throughout the day today. So, you know, not a spot where we want to be seeing any of that action again. But, again, we'll see what happens here. We're going to continue to monitor the chat here. And maybe it was just a brief touchdown, something like that. I'll check the debris here. I don't see any debris signatures anywhere. Again, just looks like a plain old storm right now. But again, they did have a report with a tornado. Let's see. There are injuries being transported from the gas station at Old Railroad Bed and Nick Davis. Don't know how many or the statuses of it per HEMC. So that's from EMA. Significant damage has been reported on the west side of Limestone County, unconfirmed per Limestone EMA fatalities. Okay, so yeah, it looks like there was some pretty bad stuff out there earlier, and, you know, really not too surprising based on how that storm looked on the radar. Okay, 2 of those fatalities are confirmed. I'm now getting word from our producer, Tim Kelly. Okay, from the sheriff. The sheriff has confirmed 2 of those fatalities. So we know that 2 people unfortunately lost their lives in this storm earlier. This is the same storm that actually now is up into Lincoln County and Franklin County up here in Tennessee. Let's get a little bit of a closer look at this storm just to see if it's still producing. And again, the latest... There's that tornado warning. Okay, so for
Franklin County, they're not going to issue for Colbert just yet based on that Leeton report. But Franklin County, Tennessee, now coming under a tornado warning till 7 p.m. Still tracking a confirmed tornado near Thames Ford Lake, or near Winchester. Doppler radar showed this tornado moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. I'm trying to find this thing here on radar. It's a little bit difficult. Yeah, it is a little bit difficult. And, you know, like I said, this close to the radar, you'd think you would be able to see it like a sore thumb on the radar. But hey, I mean, they've got confirmation, so we're going to take their word and go with it there. Whoops, let me get out of this. Let me throw on some roads here. And it's also kind of like a raggedy looking rotation, so it's a little bit tough to tell exactly where this thing is. But again, this is pretty much moving right up US Highway 64, coming out of Huntland near Belvedere. Again, that's moving right up toward Winchester. So please, I know Winchester, kind of a populated area. If you live in Winchester, Deckard, places like that, you need to get in your tornado shelter right now. Still Springs, these are spots that seem to, you know,
time after time, at least with squall lines that come through, the last couple that we've had, I can remember these town names a couple times. There's Still Springs with a confirmed tornado, you know, several months ago. Deckard, places like that near Winchester. So you guys have dealt with this before. At this point, it does not appear that there is a large, long-track, violent tornado on the ground, but what we may have is a skipping tornado, maybe a small tornado, or, you know, it may even be a big tornado. You would just think you would see it on the radar here, and I've seen, you know, hundreds of thousands of radar images, and usually that would stick out like a sore thumb to me.
So can we take a look now at the harvest? They're saying that they're watching some more tightening, definitive rotation now with the cell east of the harvest. I mean, yeah, you can see that right there.
Okay.
It's not the best looking signature, but there is starting to be a little bit suspicious there between Harvest and Meridianville, because that we could see a tornado warning with that storm as well.
Yeah, and if that does end up being a tornado warning, that'll be basically along 231 between Hazel Green and Meridianville, and that'll move over toward the Newmarket area. That's going to be east of Tony and Harvest, so you guys will not be affected by that. In fact, the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect right now for northern Madison County, the worst of it is through Tony and Harvest right now. So Hazel Green, Meridianville, you guys are about to get a pretty good gust of wind. Again, they are watching this rotation here with this storm. You can see it. It's just east of Tony and Harvest, about to cross 231 there between Hazel Green and Meridianville. Probably going to get a pretty good gust of wind out of this storm, up on the order of about 50 or 60 miles an hour. And again, if that thing decides to rotate a little bit more, wrap up a little bit more, we may end up with a tornado warning. So we'll watch that one closely. But in the meantime, the only tornado warning we have on the board right now is up into Franklin County, Tennessee, and that's pretty much making a beeline for Winchester. So again, pretty populated area. We want you in your tornado shelter if you live in Winchester. Again, lowest level of the house, closest to the center, and away from windows. That's all you need to do. You're going to be fine when this storm comes through. Again, it's Still Springs, Deckard, Cowan even.
Here comes the tornado warning for Madison County.
Okay.
This is going to be a separate tornado warning from all the other ones, obviously. This is going to go until 7:15 p.m. At 6:39, radar indicated a severe storm capable of producing a tornado. This was 5 miles east of Harvest, so that's that rotation we were just showing you there. Moving east-northeast at 40 miles per hour. So again, this is going to track to the south, Spencer, of the first one. You know, the first one went a little bit towards Hazel Green and then into Tennessee. This one taking a southern track, taking Meridianville right now. You need to be in your safe place, and Newmarket out towards the eastern portions of Madison County.
Stand by for tornado siren, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're about to hear the tornado sirens. You will there in northern parts of Madison County. All right, so if you're in Meridianville, Newmarket, north side of Huntsville, just north of Maysville, there goes the tornado siren. We're talking from Hazel Green to Meridianville. This warning moving due east now for a potential for a possible tornado on the ground. Let's zoom into this area here. Let's start labeling some streets, and let's give some folks some heads up here that live in these areas. If you live off Winchester Road, heading into Newmarket, lots of neighborhoods in this area. Of course, we have Riverton Intermediate, Riverton Elementary School, Buckhorn High School. You're all in the path. If you live around any of those areas, you need to be taking tornado precautions immediately. If you live off Moores Mill Road, again, this is Countess Road, up toward, again, Highway 231, all of Highway 231, basically just south of Hazel Green, all the way down to the north side of Huntsville. Take your tornado precautions right now. So these areas are going to be impacted. Lots and lots of neighborhoods, businesses in some of these areas in the north side of town here. We're talking about Eakins Road. It looks like there's Moores Mill Road again. We're looking at some of the areas that will be impacted. Also, it looks like, it's hard to see that one, but Oscar Patterson Road. So again, all these areas east of Highway 231. If you're west of Highway 231, it's on top of you right now. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions. East of Highway 231, you need to be finding your safe place as soon as possible. You need to be in your safe place, though, if you're in Meridianville. So if you're in Meridianville, down toward Huntsville, and of course along Highway 231, lots of businesses, lots of commercial activity there, and there's a lot of folks that live up and down Highway 231. You folks need to go to your safe place, go to either your bathroom, go to an indoor area, go away from your windows, basement, storm shelter, anything you have to keep you safe in this storm. Now, this isn't the classic large tornadic storm, but still it could potentially be a storm that produces a tornado, and if not, at least some damaging wind. And again, we're looking at some of the areas impacted: Three Forks, it looks like Bell Factory, also Deposit, again, Buckhorn, I mentioned that a minute ago, New Market, Greenfield, St. Clair Store, all these areas, northeastern Madison County. And again, there's some rural areas up in here, up across sections of northern Madison, northeastern Madison County. Either way, go ahead and head to your safe place now until the storm passes. And again, it actually extends to the north side of Huntsville. So some of those northern sections of Huntsville, we can probably, and I don't know if our tower cam has a view of any of these storms or not. No, it's already dark out, so you can't see hardly anything. We'll probably see a lot of lightning. There you can see kind of the cloud structure. There we go. Man, that storm is dark. It's not actually dark out yet, but that just looked dark because of the intense storm. So, man, these storms look ominous, folks. I mean, even if there's not a tornado, these storms mean business. They have a history of producing tornadoes. Of course, unfortunately, we have had injuries and reports of fatalities. So even if the threat is not imminent, you need to take your tornado precaution. Again, we're looking at tornado warning. Northern Madison County includes New Market, Meridianville. It includes the north side of Huntsville, south of Hazel Green, along Highway 231, and stretching off to the east. I have a good intuition here that there's probably at least 70 to 80 mile per hour winds with this storm as it's pushing east, if nothing else. So you folks there in portions of northern and northeastern Madison County, please go ahead and take your tornado precautions until this storm passes. Let's widen out the view a little bit and look at the overall storm threat. And again, take a look at the reflectivity. Okay, Highway 72 from Elk River to Athens is closed. We're getting word of that right now. We have 2 tornado warnings. No tornado warnings right now, as of right now, in Lawrence County, but you need to be prepared to seek shelter or stay indoors. We're watching these 2 areas. Again, the one moving out of portions of Lincoln County into Franklin County, Winchester, still tornado warning there. Also up toward Estill Springs, down toward Cowan, and this is all tracking off to the northeast. So you folks there still under the gun. Right behind this one, we have another one, and that's the one for the tornado warning. Probably some small hail up toward Fayetteville, but here's the actual tornado warning. Let's take a look at the velocity on this one and see what we're looking at here. And again, not seeing a whole lot, just some small area there of potential rotation. Not your typical major hook echo, but something that we have to pay attention to. This is heading directly for New Market, and we're getting some lightning strikes on the tower here at the station right now from this storm. That's actually lightning strikes from this particular storm. And you can see that this is going to continue to push east into the New Market community. A lot of neighborhoods there along Winchester Road. If you're on Winchester Road, in any neighborhood along Winchester Road, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you have any kind of bike helmet, any kind of helmet that you can put on, please go ahead and put that on. Get in a bathtub, cover yourself with pillows, with blankets. If you can, maybe you even have a small mattress you can put on top. And folks, we're saying this stuff not to scare you, but we want you to be prepared. And if it doesn't end up being that bad, then that's good news. That means we were safe rather than sorry. So I want you to certainly continue to be prepared there in portions of northern parts of Madison County. And again, we're looking at anywhere from 40 to 60 mile per hour winds with this storm. You can see even 50 and 60-mile-per-hour winds just as the storm pushes through Hazel Green right now, so certainly some damaging wind there. And again, this is all pushing in through parts of northern Madison County. Let's go ahead and let's zoom into this area right here, and let's take a look at some of these streets. And again, here's downtown Huntsville is what you're looking at. Here is Meridianville. We're looking at the areas, some of the streets. Here's Highway 231 coming out of Huntsville into Meridianville. And then we've got Bob Wayne Lane, and of course that winds from Highway 231 east and west. And then you've got some of the other roads that are being impacted right now, and I'll step off so we can get a better view of those. We're looking at Moores Mill Road and also McCollum Road. So some of the roads that are being impacted right now: Patterson Lane, there's Monroe Road. If you live off any of these streets, Oscar Patterson Road, and this is all heading directly toward Winchester, and it will continue to push into the communities there along Winchester Road. So again, take shelter, go to your safe place until this storm passes there on the north side of Huntsville. This is just north of Brookhurst and north of Maysville. You can see Macon Lane. There's the latest radar imagery showing that storm as it continues to push off to the east. And we're continuing to look at information coming in here. Let's see. And here's some good news. It looks like the gas station that was reported destroyed at Old Railroad Bed and Nick Davis was not a good report, so that's good news. That means there was no actual damage there, so certainly something good coming out of that. Funnel cloud reported just south of Joe Quick and Narrow. That's here in Madison County, so that would be in line with the tornado warning we're looking at. Huntsville issues severe thunderstorm warning now for Limestone and Madison County, so we still have severe thunderstorm warning to go along with the tornado warning. And that tornado warning will go until 7:15, so about 20 more minutes for Madison County, and that's for northern Madison County. If you're in southern Madison County, if you're south of Huntsville, so let's say you're in Owens Crossroads, Gurley, Huntsville, Madison, the Redstone Arsenal, down toward the Tennessee River, all clear for you. This storm is going to be to your north. This storm is not going to impact you. If you're in Meridianville, Hazel Green, New Market, those areas are the areas being impacted. Now we're seeing some rotation just north of Hazel Green there. So we're continuing to watch that. If you're listening to us on Light 96.9 or 97.7 The Zone, we're in our long form severe weather coverage for tornadoes that have been reported on the ground all evening long. We're looking at Madison County right now, specifically north of Huntsville, along Highway 231, stretching east and northeast of Hazel Green, heading toward Winchester Road. So if you're in the car right now and you're listening to us, you need to pull over, find a safe place. If you're anywhere along Winchester Road, go ahead and pull over and find a safe spot and seek shelter until this storm passes. There's the severe thunderstorm warning for the storm coming out of Elkmont, and that will actually go over the same area once again, so we'll have to watch that storm as well. So we're watching two different areas here. We're watching the area from Hazel Green to Meridianville, Ardmore to Elkmont. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging wind, and again, tornado warning box continues. This is the only, besides the one in Franklin County, that we're still continuing to watch, two tornado warnings. Franklin County, northern Madison County. This one for Winchester. And again, we're still under the gun in Winchester, city of Winchester. If you're up there, take shelter, continue to stay in your safe place. Still watching this storm. It has potential for a tornado that's not looking too impressive on radar, but it's something we'll keep an eye on. The radar very close to the high top NEXRAD radar site. So we've got a good view of these storms moving into northern Madison County. Look at these winds. We're talking 75-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to have some wind damage out of this storm south of Lincoln and north of Meridianville. So there possibly could be some damaging wind pushing east across northern sections of northeastern Madison County. Anything else you guys are seeing out there?
Not seeing too much more, although we did just get a severe thunderstorm warning for Lawrence County. And then also, again, this is going to go until 7:15 this evening. So again, that's going to be for, let's see, that's going to be for the next about 25 minutes or so.
All right, I think your battery's...
Back to you, Spencer.
Okay.
All right, and we have, right now we have Jabari and Jabari Pruitt in Athens right now. Jabari, what are you seeing? Are you seeing some damage out there?
Yeah, Spencer, right now the damage is pretty big, pretty bad actually. I'm on Poplar Bluff Creek Road right here down Highway 72 West. This road, actually, I'm walking along this road. Trees are down, parts of houses are down. It's a body shop, Craig Body Shop, has been completely destroyed. Now, on this road, there are houses and mobile home parks. There are a lot of people actually that are trying to get to their houses, but they have stopped them at the at the entrance of this road. Now, of course, I am out of breath right now, so because I'm walking, but the people actually are trying to get through. The ambulance, the volunteer fire department are all on the scene, trying to get up and trying to see if there are actually any injuries right now. But you know, as I've said, that the damage is pretty bad. Trees are down. A body shop, as I mentioned, is destroyed. We don't know exactly how many houses are destroyed or how bad the damages are, but this is about a half a mile actually on this road. I'm actually making my way through. That's why I'm out of breath right now and talking to you. But, you know, it's pretty bad right now.
Okay, Jabari, be sure and stay safe out there. I'm looking at the radar right now, and you've got some more storms rolling in there. Of course, nothing right now is severe, but I know there's a lot of I'm seeing a lot of reports like what you're talking about there in Athens. So we appreciate all those reports, and we'll check back in with you here in just a few minutes or in a little bit for more information. That was Jabari Pruitt in Athens. And again, we're looking at still 2 tornado warnings ongoing across Madison and also Franklin County, Tennessee. The one with possible damaging wind and maybe even an isolated tornado or a small tornado there in parts of northeastern Madison County. And so we continue to track that storm into Newmarket. If you're in Newmarket, the damaging wind is approaching you right now. So if you're in your safe place, you should be hearing some pretty intense wind there, and even back toward Hazel Green and up toward portions of Lincoln County, Flintville, probably seeing some pretty intense wind as well. Anywhere from 50 to 75 mile per hour wind possible with the storm as it pushes north and to the east. I
think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this tornado warning, because really just about this entire tornado warning right now is just about in the clear. The initial area of rotation, you know, the part of the storm that's rotating is kind of somewhere up in here, and then that's going to continue moving toward the north and east. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out that's going to be for Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore County, Tennessee, and Madison County, Alabama, till 7:30. So again, kind of making the transition to the severe warnings here. I think they're going to allow this to expire. If you're in Meridianville, I know you're still technically under the tornado warning, but that could have been shaved off a little bit ago. You guys are in the clear right now. Worst of it is moving through Newmarket right now, though. So again, we do want you to be in your tornado shelter just to be safe. And the Weather Service is now actually expiring the tornado warning for Franklin County, Tennessee. So this guy out here, which initially was the Athens storm that we had 2 confirmed fatalities from over in Athens, that storm now is kind of in its dying stages, and it's pretty much right over Winchester right now as it dies down.
All right, I'm looking over some reports. I've been looking through some photos on Twitter and Facebook, some incredible photos coming in of lightning, possible funnel clouds, wall clouds, even tornadoes. So certainly a lot of stuff coming in. And so we're continuing to track all this online and on the air here on WAAY-31. It is now the top of the hour. In fact, we're approaching the top of the hour at 6:58. And as we approach 7 o'clock, this is WAAY-31. WAAY-TV here in Huntsville, Alabama, and we are on the air with severe weather coverage, long-form severe weather coverage for tornadoes that have moved through the Tennessee Valley. Will continue to push through as we go through the evening hours. Again, we still have one tornado warning. We have another one well down to our south and west across sections of western Alabama. But right now we're watching these areas of northern Alabama for the potential for at least damaging wind. So damaging wind, certainly one of the greater threats with this, and possibly still the possibility of some rotation with these storms. And you can see it looks like maybe a little bit of rotation back there to the west right now. But other than that, not seeing a whole lot as far as tornadic activity. These storms certainly don't look as bad as far as the wind is concerned, at least as far as the tornadic winds are concerned. So that's good news. We're still seeing possible hail with some of these storms, anywhere from a golf ball and larger. So some of these storms will have small hail with them, heavy rain, and we're talking flash flooding, big time flash flooding here across North Alabama. And this may transition